The following is a presentation of the Harding Sports Network.
We are Harding Sports Network. We are Bisons.
Hello and welcome to Chasing the Herd. I'm Sarah Hickerson.
And I'm Ellery Gardner.
Thanks for joining us as we take a look at some of the best Harding sports moments from the fall.
It was historic as the Bison football team captured the outright GAC title for the second time.
Fullback Cole Chansey became Harding's career rushing leader, and the Bisons hosted a playoff game for the first time since 2016.
After an opening round 30-14 victory over Washburn on November 20th, the football season came to an end the following Saturday with a 28-9 loss to Northwest Missouri. Harding finished the season at 11-2. Paul Simmons completed his fourth season as head coach. His record stands at 41-11. The season began on September 4th against East Central. The Harding Bison 2021 football season was a season of history, faith, excitement, and many wins. It will go down in the books as one of the greatest Harding football seasons. After taking an entire season off due to the coronavirus in 2020, the Bisons were ready to get back into the competition. The Bisons started the season at home, shutting out the East Central Tigers with a score of 28-0. The Bisons hope to keep the momentum going forward, heading on the road the next weekend to play Southeastern Oklahoma. Unfortunately, a late touchdown and two-point conversion by the Savage Storm would put the Bisons' record to 1-1.
We just got in too big of a hole to come out of it. It's kind of crazy. We really had a great week of practice. We had a great trip. I think the kids were ready to play, but we didn't execute.
But the Bisons were only getting started. They met the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders at Magnolia, where the Bisons earned a 37-6 win. Then a few quick wins against Ouachita Baptist and Oklahoma Baptist would help the Bisons keep rolling into their dominant season. Harding's offense started putting up basketball-like scores, scoring an average of 57 points for 5 straight games. The defense also stayed dominant as they only allowed 167 points the entire season, including playoffs. After defeating rival Arkansas Tech 31-0, the Bisons were ready to head into the first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. For the first year ever, Harding would host a first-round playoff game where they defeated Washburn University 30-14. With that win, the Bisons advanced to the second round of the playoffs, where they would again have the home advantage. Unfortunately, Harding would lose to the third-ranked Northwest Missouri Bearcats 28-9, giving the Bisons an 11-2 season. Even though the season came to an end, head coach Paul Simmons expressed his gratitude for his players.
These guys are going to crush it. They're going to crush it. They're going to crush it in their lives because they're awesome young men, and they're ready. They're ready for what's next, and I just wish we had one more week.
The historical 2021 Harding football season will be one that will be remembered for many years. It was the fourth time in 5 years for Harding to capture 10 wins.
Cole Chansey concluded his Harding football career with 5,114 yards. He became the Bison career rushing leader on October 6th against Southern Nazarene. It was a 5-yard run in the second quarter that allowed him to break the record held by Alan Snake Dixon since 1973. Ryan Gallagher has the story.
My name is Cole Chansey. I'm from Commerce, Georgia. Studying kinesiology and health here with the teacher licensure as well. Harding was never something I knew of until, I had a call from, a recruiter recruit me. I looked it up. They sent me a recruiting video. I talked to my coach from high school, and, this place was, the best fit for me. And, when I got here and took a visit, I knew it was true that it was the best place for me. Coming in as a freshman, you know, you're going to do your best to play at all costs. But sometimes it don't work out that way. I was blessed to, you know, get that opportunity, and, you know, it's one I'm glad I got. You know, just stepping out on the field for the first time, you know, it's kind of, you're like, man, do I belong? But, you know, you just had to, you know, think back to what got you there. And, you know, the first time, it was great, you know, never look back, really.
On that last play, senior Cole Chansey broke the Harding through, rushing yardage record.
The pressure was on me, I guess, in a way. Just, you know, you hear about it, people talk about it, and, you know, within the game, you know, everyone knows what might be going on. And, you know, I guess when I did do it, it was one of those things. I didn't want to kill the drive, just wanted to keep running the next play. But, you know, it was exciting, you know, to look at. You know, it makes me think of the guys around me that, you know, gave me that opportunity, the coaches. Man, that they worked their tail off for me to, you know, get those awards, and it's all just a reflection of their work. Go Bisons.
In his final game, Chansey carried the ball 29 times for 117 yards.
We are just getting started on Chasing the Herd.
Coming up, a look at the men who did all the blocking for Cole Chansey after the break.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
Being a champion takes more than skill. More than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
Cole Chansey always gave credit to the Harding offensive line for his success as a fullback.
After Chansey set the career rushing record, there was a short pause in order for the announcement to be made to the fans. Chansey walked over and acknowledged the linemen. Caleb Semple gives us the behind-the-scenes look at the guys up front.
At Harding University, Saturdays mean big football games, big wins, and even bigger individuals. With so many playoffs made consecutively, these guys really know how to win a football game. But one group of guys that gets overshadowed might be the offensive line crew.
So Mason Hutto, I'm 6'1" in cleats, 280.
My name is Austin Toller. I'm 6 foot and I weigh 309.
Hunter Willis. I am 6'1", 315 pounds.
Sam Wilson. I'm 6'2", 260.
This group of big men is responsible for everything that the offense does every Saturday, but they sure like to entertain themselves.
If I had to put it in one word, I would say a lot of fun, but also we're very hard workers. I mean, you see on Saturdays, I mean, we get after people. We also know how to have fun.
It's very entertaining. We're really tight. It's more like a brotherhood, truly.
Really fun. The people around here are super goofy, and it's always something new every day.
The feeling! Stand. Sing it, Adam.
I don't know this part.
They know how to have a good time, but they're really good at being able to flip the switch and knowing when it's time to go to work.
And while their job might be making sure that the ball carrier gets in the end zone, they're still having visions of scoring one for themselves.
All the time. I think about it all the time. We go over fumble recovery drills, and they tell us to fall on the ball. If I get the chance, scoop and score all day.
Of course I imagine scoring a touchdown. Who doesn't want to score? You know, I imagine always like a scoop and score or something like that.
Probably a scoop and score off a fumble. We almost had one this year, Keegan Shive, he almost came on and scooped it, but he didn't scoop it through.
And working as hard as these big guys do, after a big win, they sure know how to feed themselves.
I think I'd go big steak, a loaded baked potato, a house salad, and a big chocolate brownie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top.
Have to be a big old steak and a potato, have to be.
So in high school, it was always a full hot and ready Little Caesar sausage pizza. Now that I'm married, barbecue, she always gets barbecue a lot. Sometimes it still is pizza, but if I had a go-to, Italian food. We might be fat, but we're fun to be around, so don't judge us on our looks.
The amount of work that these offensive linemen put in is immeasurable, but the amount of fun that they have makes it all worth the while. Oh, and one more thing.
Womb.
Going into the game against Northwest Missouri, Harding led NCAA Division II with 204 yards per game. Sarah and Ellery, back up to you guys.
Thanks, Caleb. The Campbell Trophy is college football's premier scholar athlete award. Harding senior linebacker Dylan Hendricks was one of the only 15 NCAA Division II players on the list. Gina Willman had a chance to visit with him about the honor.
Number 43 linebacker Dylan Hendricks was nominated for the Academic Heisman, or more commonly known as the Campbell Trophy Award.
My name is Dylan Hendricks. I'm in my 6th year, actually. Last year was supposed to be my senior season, but due to COVID, our season got canceled, so stuck around to play my senior year. I'm from Mesa, Arizona, so long ways. My undergrad I was in math with licensure, mathematics, and then I minored in coaching as well. We're currently working on my master's in sports administration. I'd heard about it, we've had guys in the past nominated for it, became semifinalists, Cordell Zielinski, Sam Blankenship, Taylor Streeter, so yeah, I definitely heard of it.
The Campbell Trophy Award recognizes collegiate football players that also uphold great academics, something that has always been important to Dylan Hendricks.
More quickly to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to keep it on the ground right here, running to the left side, running.
I was definitely honored, like I mentioned those guys that had been nominated before me, so just to be held in the same regard as them was really cool. But I think it's not as much as of an individual award as just all the people around me. I mentioned my support system growing up and my incredible teammates and coaches. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
Turn sheet, takes, hands it off, coming to the left side. There's Hendricks, and they'll make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. A yard loss on the
Park Parrish with you from Magnolia, and SAU with first down, and the pass is intercepted, picked off at the 25-yard line by Kyle McDonald, and the Bisons get it back, and that was forced by the pressure from Dylan Hendricks. He was right in the face of Hayden Mallory as he released it.
Coach Simmons mentioned it once, in front of the team, but we're more interested in team awards. So,
looking over your past seasons, what have been some of your greatest moments?
Oh man, I think going all the way back to 2017, we started 0-3, and then we went on to win 11 straight, advanced all the way to the national semifinals, and I was a freshman that year, and we actually had some injuries that allowed me to get to play a lot in the playoffs, so that was just a real big treat. And then this past season we had we lost week 2, we were 1-1, and then I think we rattled off 10 straight wins, and just being a part of this great senior group, and we hosted 2 home playoff games, which a Harding team had never done before. It was just a really special year.
Hendricks was the team captain for 2021. He earned a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics in 2020 with a 3.81 GPA. I'm Gina Willman. Sarah and Ellery, back to you.
We are switching gears from football as we move along with Chasing the Herd.
Up next, a review of the 2021 Harding volleyball season.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5.
athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
The Harding volleyball team advanced to the GAC tournament semifinals in November.
The Lady Bisons went 12-4 in the GAC and finished with a 7-2 record at home. Caroline Sellers files with a report.
The season did not go at all like I expected. I don't know, it's just so funny just because your expectations can play with you so much. I think as far as the team being successful and working together and having great team chemistry and team dynamics and growing together and growing as players and athletes and people, I think we did that in droves, like more this year maybe than we ever have. The expectations of, your typical view of success, wins, losses, championships, it was not at all what I expected. We were coming into the season really experienced, and we had what felt like kind of just like one hit after the other. We had some injuries early and some like residual the last 2 years, just like mental battles on the COVID year straight into this fall. We lost matches we probably shouldn't have, and we could have done better, and this team most definitely could have, won a championship and things like that. So in that way, sometimes we didn't meet expectations, but in a lot of other ways, we far exceeded expectations. It's just a matter of perspective, I guess. I think the girls played really well. We had a lot of like really close 5-set matches. You asked about ones that stick out in my head in Arkansas Tech. Anytime that you can play Arkansas Tech and it be a high level close match and you come out on top. We won 16-14 in the 5th, and that was a really exciting match. People showed up. I will say that was one thing that exceeded my expectations in a very good way, was to have fans back in the stands and the way that they supported us, and that people were like caring about the match and into the match like I haven't seen in a long time. So that was really fun. Our expectations are always the same, that we can compete for a conference championship. I know these girls are excited for that. They're ready for that. We're going to have a really big group of 4th-year players. So some of them are, now anyone who played during the COVID year has an extra year of eligibility. We have a big class of 9. So over half of our team is in one class, and those girls will all be in their 4th year of play. Some are staying for a 5th year, some aren't, but we can actually prepare our best going into next fall. So
Harding had a 6-match winning streak snapped in the GAC tournament. The season ended with a 17-9 overall record. That's all I have on volleyball. I'm Caroline Sellers. Sarah, over to you.
Thanks, Caroline. This fall marked the return of the Harding Sports Podcast. Billy Morgan, the voice of the Bisons, and Scott Good from Sports Information were the hosts. Balaj Balash has more on the story.
Hi, everybody. I'm Billy Morgan. Welcome to this edition of the Harding Sports Network podcast.
Mark Pryor came to me back in the summer, and I assumed it was his original idea. I don't know who came up with the idea, but he was the one who approached me about the equipment and what equipment was needed and how do we go about setting up a space for that. Most of this we already had here. I guess we may have brought in a new computer. I don't know. It seemed like we had an extra computer we weren't even using at the time. So it was very minimal expense. It's not high tech. We did bring in I had these panels over in storage, which kind of helped isolate the sound a little bit better, deaden the room just a little bit. We had to experiment a little bit when we first started as to trying to get the room to sound a little better in terms of not being quite as reflective and all of that. But it was very, very small budget for this room. We've got instructions on the tables and step by step how to go through the process. So hopefully it's simple enough that about anybody can come in and use it without a lot of difficulty. They have interviewed they usually bring in a guest. Billy Morgan and Steve Good usually kind of coordinate that and bring in, I know I've been in here with Dr. Burks and with different ones who have connections from the past that can come in and talk about the football programs or whatever it is that they're talking about that week. Like I said, I have basically just been the one sitting over there in that seat rather than this seat to handle the actual engineering of that. Nathan Looney's the other one that has been really involved with this, and I guess kind of brought me into it to kind of help get a little bit of the engineering side of it a little better under control. I know you can go through the link or the Harding Sports Network.
That's all for this edition of the Harding Sports Network podcast. Special thanks to Nathan Looney, Mark Pryor, Lacey Rush, and Scott Good. From the Reynolds Center on the campus of Harding University, I'm Billy Morgan. So long, everybody.
The podcast studio is located in the Reynolds Music and Communication Building. 7 episodes were produced this fall. You can go to hardingsports.com if you would like to listen to any of the previous shows. I am Balázs Balassa. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Balázs. Basketball season is underway. Haley Kate Webb will have a Christmas edition of her series, Ask the Bisons, featuring players from the men's team.
And I had the opportunity to visit with athletic director and head men's basketball coach Jeff Morgan about a coaching clinic that Harding hosted for the first time this year. Stay with us.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Haley Kate Webb began a series called Ask the Bisons that premiered during the Harding Football Show in September.
We asked Haley Kate to do one for us featuring the men's basketball team.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. Oh, me.
Gotta be the Grinch, not the animated one though, because the Grinch is funny in the.
Probably Home Alone.
Home Alone. My favorite Christmas movie is probably Home Alone for sure.
I got a couple. I got Kyler, Davis, and Collier.
Definitely Davis.
Davis or Wyatt for sure.
Top of the nice list, I'm gonna go with Davis Morgan probably.
Probably Taylor.
I'm gonna have to go Taylor.
Gotta be Jordan or Josh, 100%.
Call your Blackbird.
I don't like Christmas music.
Christmas song. Jingle Bells.
That's a tough one. Probably Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells for sure.
I don't think Christmas music is good. Only Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Cupid, Comet, Vixen. That's all I know.
The one with the red nose, Daxter. Prancer or something? I don't know.
Reindeer, Rudolph and Prancer.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, and Rudolph. That's the only ones I know.
The pear tree? Is it a pear?
No, I cannot.
Gold, something.
5 golden rings.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. Shout out Ramiro Santiago.
My true love gave to me.
No. It was still as a mouse.
Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Game.
The GAC basketball season is underway. The league coaches picked Oklahoma Baptist to win the men's title, while Southwestern Oklahoma ranked first in the women's preseason poll.
The Harding basketball program hosted over 500 basketball coaches recently for a coaching clinic, with a pretty impressive lineup of guest speakers. Take a look.
About probably 9 or 10 years ago, the Arkansas Basketball Coaches Association formed, and they've got junior high, high school, college coaches from all over the state of Arkansas that are members. The clinic has been at Hendrix College every year for however long they've been doing it, the last 9 or 10 years, and it's always been in September. In August, because of COVID and those kind of things, Hendrix wasn't quite sure they'd be able to do it. And so we jumped at the opportunity to be able to host it, and it was a great day. It was a lot of fun. Our teams participated as practices, and then we had the list of speakers, and it was a great list of speakers. We had Joe Foley, the head women's coach at Arkansas Little Rock. We had Chris Beard, the head coach at University of Texas. Porter Mosier, the head coach at University of Oklahoma. We had Darrell Walker, who is the men's coach at Arkansas Little Rock and played in the NBA and played for the Arkansas Razorbacks. So it was just a fun day. We had over 500 coaches here, and it was a lot of fun, and just it's great. It's kind of like a big family reunion in some ways, because you get to see a lot of people from around the state that maybe you haven't seen in a while, and make those connections and then grow those connections.
Coach Morgan told me that Harding would be interested in hosting again if the opportunity arises down the road.
The spring sports schedule will get underway soon. We have a preview of the Harding baseball team.
We'll also give you a look at the new soccer facility. Stay with us.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag like facing backwards and look like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back, and my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer, and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. Whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
The Bison baseball team wrapped up the 2021 season with a 23-18 record. Harding finished at 18-15 in GAC play and compiled a 14-5 record at home.
Though baseball season isn't in season, there is still a lot going on the diamond. Jake Mooney sat down with Coach Patrick McGahey and some of the team to talk about their work in the off-season and some expectations for the 2020-22 spring season.
Our brand is we're always going to play really, really good defense, and if you do that, you're generally going to give yourself a chance to be in most ball games. And I like our defense a lot this year. I think we're going to have a chance to really defend.
I have a very good defense. It's been that way since I've been here. This is my 3rd year here,
and it's been that way before that.
David Butterfield is a young man that's just been a great leader for us while he has been here. He had an outstanding season last year. Really played well for us, and he'll probably slide from third base to shortstop this year.
Yeah, I played shortstop in high school growing up, as a lot of college infielders do, and so the transition, it's been different because the angles are a little bit different on the ball, but Coach Bees and the coach's staff has really helped me progress in those areas and get better at shortstop.
We've got a good group of pitchers that we know that are dependable and who we can count on. Offensively, we got some guys that are going to really hit. So for me, it comes down to, are we going to be able to have some pitchers step up this year and maybe exceed expectations or maybe live up to expectations. And if we're able to do that, then I think we have a chance to compete at near the top of the conference for sure.
The Bison's fall off season wrapped up on December 2nd. Their season starts Friday, February 4th. Back to Ellery at the desk.
By the way, the Lady Bison's softball team has a new coach this year. Her name is Ashley Reeves. She replaced Phil Berry, who retired last May after 8 seasons.
November 11th was the date for the dedication ceremony for the Hatcher Indoor Soccer Center. Mitch Friesenberg attended the event and has the highlights.
Welcome to the dedication program for the Hatcher Indoor Soccer Center. We are so glad you came out this afternoon. It's one of those dedications we attempted to do a year ago, and this thing called COVID came out and messed it all up, and we delayed it, and we're glad to finally do it. It caused a few challenges because this facility's been used now for a year, and so we had to really clean it and get it looking good again, and it looks beautiful. So it's nice that able to get all that coming. If you're here today, that means you love the game of soccer and you love this sport or have some appreciation.
I first want to thank Greg and your family and Larkin for this amazing facility. From the time you walk in the lobby to you come through these doors and you come in and it's just incredible. The black turf, the logo, all the wood, the glassed in second level, the weight room, just an incredible facility. I worry that our players will take this place for granted. They come in and out every single day. And I worry that they'll think that this is normal, that this facility is just something that everyone has. It's not normal. It's not normal for a university to have this type of facility for their soccer program. And it's not normal to have a family that's so generous and so giving. And so I thank you. Because it's a game changer. When they see this facility, if they've never heard about Harding or they don't know about Harding, they're interested. And a couple weeks back, I was talking to a kid from Madrid, Spain, and walked him through the building, and soon after he stopped me and said, "Coach, I've never seen anything like this. We don't have anything like this." And I had a big smile on my face, and I said, "Well, we've got this at Harding, you need to come." And I said, "You have access 7 days a week, and between your classes, you have one of the nicest indoor facilities in the country."
I think it's been more fun to build this facility after Larkin was gone because it wasn't so that she could get the benefit of it. It was in appreciation for what Harding did for Larkin. I would say Larkin had the best college experience of my 5 kids when you just take the whole shoot match, academics, friends, sports, coach, relationship, all that, you guys win.
On behalf of our Board of Trustees, on behalf of our faculty and staff, and our student body in particular, thank you very much for making this facility possible. We are grateful.
Greg Hatcher was the lead donor for the new facility. His daughter Larkin played for the Bisons and was a part of the GAC Tournament Championship team in 2015. I'm Mitch Friesenberg. Back to you guys.
July 12th, 2021 was a big day for the Harding sports program.
When we come back, you'll hear all about it. Stay with us.
Graduation is an exciting time of celebration, but also of reflection. you've accomplished so much to be proud of. The world needs you, and now you're ready for the world.
The Great American Conference announced Harding University as the winner of the 2021 Commissioner's Cup All-Sports Trophy last July.
The Bisons have won 3 of the last 4 all-sports trophies. Colin Slatton sat down with the head athletic director, Jeff Morgan, to talk about the recognition.
Well, I mean, it was a great year. Obviously, it was a very different year with COVID and all the protocols and everything that we had to go through, and seasons changed and schedules changed and all that. But it's really just winning the all-sports trophy for the conference is really just a testament to, I think, our student athletes, our coaches, all the support we have on campus. That it just, it's a great testament to their work ethic, to the approach, to the level of competition we're playing at, and our student athletes just do a great job of, pursuing their craft and their sport and working extremely hard in the off season. And coaches do the same in recruiting and developing student athletes. So, the Lord's blessed us with some great facilities, with great people to work with, and from our administration all the way through our community, we get great support. And so it's really, it feels like a community-wide trophy, so to speak, because there's so many more people involved than what get credit for. I think if you look across Harding's history, and especially in our NCAA era, we've had a lot of success in a lot of our sports. It may have come at different times, may have come different years, but for the most part, we've had a lot of success in a lot of our sports. When you look at conference championships, NCAA tournament appearances, just the level of competition we're playing at. We're competing at our league. Every league we've been a part of, the Lone Star Conference, the Gulf South Conference, and now the Great American Conference, has been extremely tough competition. You're competing at a very high level, and that's fun to watch, fun to be a part of. Last year, obviously, the football team didn't get to play in the fall. But a lot of other sports seasons got shifted to the spring, which again, you mentioned it was a very weird year as far as, volleyball playing a schedule in the spring, basketball being only a spring sport last year. So a lot of our sports did get to play, but it was a very different kind of schedule. And I think being able to have the success we had just, again, speaks to the commitment that our student athletes have, the work ethic, the time, the energy that they put into it, and our coaches the same thing. I mean, our coaches are some of the best people in the world that just work extremely hard and invest a lot in their student athletes and pour into our student athletes, and that's a lot of fun to be a part of. Harding's always had a very strong athletic program, and we've won 3 out of the last 4 all sports trophies, and so I think it just one more thing to just speaks to the overall the approach that we have to athletics here on campus. And like I said, we can't say enough about the support we get across campus and across this community, not just within our student athletes, but it is really exciting for our student athletes, our coaches, to when you win an all sports trophy like this. It's just something they can be really proud of, and the work that they've seen, that they've put in, and see some of that come to fruition with the success we've had on and off the field and the courts. And our student athletes have done a great job in competition. They've also done a great job in the classroom, and so it really speaks to that, I think. And then also, like I said before, it really speaks to the overall support we get throughout our entire community.
Harding is off to a good start this year with the football team winning the GAC regular season championship. I'm Colin Slatton. Back to you guys.
Thank you for joining us for the fall edition of Chasing the Herd.
You can watch many of the home athletic contests at streaming.harding.edu.